looking so... How dapper does David look, ladies and gentlemen? You know, there's been a lot of excitement since we said you were on the show. A lot of people here obviously very excited. Are you used to that kind of Beckham effect? Are you used to that? Do you feel the ripple as you walk through a shopping centre or sit down in the cinema? Do you feel that kind of, it's David Beckham, it's David Beckham, it's David Beckham?
You kind of do. You never get used to it. I think it's one of those things that always amazes me. You know, when you do walk past people and, you know, it's a double take and...
Women fall over. Yeah.
I don't know about that anymore, but... yeah,
no, that's right, because you've so lost your looks. Well, you know what? Let's talk about the World Cup, shall we?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm not the biggest football fan in the world. I'm not that knowledgeable about football. I was watching. I was enjoying it very much indeed. Where did we go wrong as a team, or did we do as well as we were ever going to do you think?
You know, I think first off we have to congratulate South Africa because I think it was a successful World Cup. You know,
people didn't think they'd be able to pull it off, but they did a fantastic job.
I think there was a lot of doubts before the World Cup, and once it got underway, the fans had, you know, an enormous amount of fun, and you know, it was a great atmosphere to be around. And I think in the end, you know, Spain winning, they deserved to win because they played the best football.
It's a great year for Spanish football with Nadal at the top and then winning the World Cup as well.
It's great, and you know, I've still got friends that play in that team, and I was happy for them and I'm happy for the country because I know how much it means to them. Obviously, with England, it was disappointing because I think every time we go into a big competition, you know, the expectation levels are so high, and rightly so, because we have got some of the best players in Europe.
We want to win, that's fair enough,
of course.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And our nation, you know, there's no better country in the world that comes together like we come together on a big occasion, especially World Cups. Yeah. You know, our fans are the number one in the world.
You feel the support. You must have known even over there how crazy people were going here.
Without a doubt, you know, you feel the build-up beforehand, and then, you know, we're out of it then, and then, you know, you just hear it from family or from friends. But we know the support that we get.
So what happened then? Why did we get... You know, I mean, because that was quite a bad thrashing we received at the hands of our German neighbours.
I think at the end of the day, you know, we know and they know as a team, the players, that they didn't perform at the end of the day. And I think when you play at that level, you have to perform, and we just didn't. And so that's the reason why we went out early.
In terms of they didn't come together, was a team properly, or individuals maybe weren't on top of their game?
You know, I always look at it as, you know, it's not about individuals, we're a team. And we enjoyed the good times, which we did enjoy the good times in the qualifiers. We qualified, you know, unbelievably. But then when the bad times come together, you stick together. It's not about the individuals in the team. It's not about the individual players, the great players that we've got performing. Well, we don't look at it like that. We look at it as, you know, it's about a team. Yeah. Without doubt, it's not the manager's fault.
Well, let me ask you a question. This might sound like an incredibly stupid question, but Mr. Capello, his English isn't... He doesn't have the most fluent grasp of English. No. Okay, and some of the team perhaps don't speak Italian that well, I would have thought. Is that a problem? I know a lot of the people, you know, a lot of different teams have... they just get the best person for the job and the language isn't an issue, but do you think it could be an issue? I can't help but see it can't be a little bit of an issue.
No, because he only speaks English to the players.
But does he speak it? Can he communicate in the way that you could communicate, for example, if, for example, you decided to do the job?
I think he does, because he's a manager that's renowned around the world for the way he is and the person he is and how strict he is.
He's very no-nonsense, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's obviously afterwards, because we didn't do as well as people had hoped, people were saying he should go. He should go. I get the feeling you don't agree with that.
No, and I don't think any of the players agree with that, because I think, you know, he gave us everything, he gave the team everything to go out there and perform. And, you know, the team didn't perform. It's literally down to the players, and the players know that. You know, they're honest enough. People talk about, you know, do players care? They're on a certain amount of money. You know, they like nice cars. They like going on nice holidays. Do they care about their football? Trust me, these players care about winning.
Do you ever give them, if they're down in that break, the half-time thing, you ever give one of them a hug? Like if one of them looked like they were going to fight...
I think I've been hugged before.
Would you give them a hug?
I've been hugged
Who's
before.
hugged you in the half-time gap?
It was one of the Brazilian players from Madrid.
Was this was unexpected? Was this you were getting changed and he ran out, did he? He was one of those things. Beckham! Well, that's not one. That was a friendly hug.
Yeah.
How nice. And did it cheer you up? Did you feel good?
It made me feel happy, yeah.
Made you feel... You've been answering fans. You've been talking to fans online this week.
Yeah.
and they've been giving you questions about, I guess, about the World Cup, I guess about football in general, your career. How is that? Do you like engaging people that way? Do you get a chance often enough to do that?
Yeah, this Yahoo thing that I did this afternoon, I was sat there and I was interviewed by fans from 19 different countries all at the same time, which was pretty amazing.
Well, I guess because you're known all over the world. I mean, everyone knows who you are.
Yeah.
What kind of questions? Any that you didn't expect? Any surprised you?
There was a few questions that surprised me, but you know, certain things like what would I do, you know, out in my spare time and stuff like that. So it was a normal kind of thing.
And what do you do? We know what you do. You hang out with Snoop Dogg. That's what you do in your spare time. Everyone knows this. You're out there teaching them.
No, do you know what I actually do, which will probably surprise you? I love Lego.
You love Lego?
I love Lego.
You put together Legos?
And the funny thing was, right, I shouldn't probably tell this story, but I will. When I was in Milan for the 6 months I was sat there in my room and I thought, right, what can I do? Because I'm bored. I haven't got my children, I hahaven't got my wife with me.
I guess you can't just go out. You're going to get snapped everywhere you go.
No. So I went online and had a look what Lego was online.
What was available.
So
you're sure that's all you were looking at online without the family there with you?
Yeah. And there was a Taj Mahal. So I bought a Taj Mahal. And
you bought the Lego Taj Mahal?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Not actual size?
No, obviously not actual size. So I bought it, and it arrived, and I started building it, and then I got injured, and then I had to go back home, so I never finished it. But my kids are obsessed by Lego. So then, you know, I'm good friends with James Corden. So I texted him, I said, can you believe it? I'm playing Man United in 2 days, and I'm sat here building the Taj Mahal. And he sent one back saying, can you believe it? I'm sat in a hotel and I'm so bored, I just said to myself, should I shower? He said, I'm talking to myself. So we're both having this really boring conversation. I'm playing Man United in 2 days and building Taj Mahal.
Did you ever get to finish the Taj Mahal?
No.
You know, I know exactly what to get you for Christmas now. But that's a lovely... I can see why you'd enjoy that. But you've got a bit of OCD going on, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
You're a little bit...
yeah.
Because someone I know said they'd been in your house. Don't worry, they were invited. It wasn't a stalker. They said you have to have the drink labels lined up a certain way in the fridge and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, if there's like 2 bottles of water and 2 bottles of Coke and 2 bottles of Sprite, if there's an extra can, then I take it out and put it in the cupboard and hide it.
So there's got to be 2 and 2 and 2?
Yeah.
So you don't like the odds?
No.
And if the 2 there, do you have the labels facing?
I have the labels facing perfectly, and it really, like, Victoria will go in and just tweak it a little bit, and then I'll go and it'll annoy me. But there's other things.
Well, no, why would she do that? Why would she want to annoy you?
Because well, it's the same, you know, I'm really tidy, and, you know, that's why we're kind of perfect, because she'll mess up the house and I'll tidy it up.
What's the worst thing she leaves home? Is it old knickers? There's some tights over there?
No, the old knickers I don't mind. That's fine. No,
depends how big the pile gets, though, doesn't it? If there's a year's supply, you get cross.
You've seen the size of it. The knickers are only small.
I can imagine. Imagine it looks like a bit of tooth floss lying on the floor, doesn't it? Do people still call her posh much? Does she get that? I guess she gets it in the press.
She's down in my phone as posh.
Are you for posh?
Yeah, she's just, you know, she'll always be posh.
Oh, that's so nice. What does she call you? Is it still Golden Balls?
She's called me a few things. You know, she said to me before the show tonight, she said, just don't say anything silly. I said, no, you're the one that says the silly things, not me. So, no, it's every now and again it's Golden Balls.
And is there a kind of angry name she has for you when she's cross with you?
I really couldn't say that, even for the last show. Anyway, yeah, and I have the problem with, you know, I do the housework and I like to...
Do you hoover? Do you like to hoover?
I like to hoover.
What do you listen to when you're hoovering? You put the music on, or you like...
kids running around.
So you don't hear that. And the kids, you've got the 3 boys, of course.
Yeah, 3 boys.
I hope you don't mind me saying this. I was out in Los Angeles for my wife's work. She writes movies now. We were out there briefly, and we're staying in a hotel, and the hotel has a lovely kind of breakfast area. And while she was there, I was upstairs. I was probably in the gym. You know, this don't come cheap.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, you agree with me. And she said, you came in with your boys. I think it was, I don't know if it was all 3, was it?
Yeah, it was all 3
And she said they sat down and they had and you said hi to afterwards. But she said what was so sweet was the boys were so charmingly well behaved. And she said, and afterwards, as you leave, she heard one of them say to you, Daddy, thanks for taking us for breakfast, Daddy. And she said it was just the sweetest thing. And they seem, I just met one of them, what sweet little boys.
Do you know what? They are really sweet boys, and they're well behaved, because me and Victoria, you know, our parents were strict with us and we was brought up in the right way, and My mum's here somewhere in the.
She's here this evening?
Yeah, she's here, and you know, we want to bring our boys up the way we were brought up. You know, we've got a fun house. They run around, they sing, they dance. You know, they love Pineapple Studios, actually.
Don't we all?
Funnily enough, yeah. They love Louis. And,
you've got to have a bit of Louis Spence in your life.
Yeah, of course. So, you know, they're very polite boys, like, you know, like your wife said, and, you know, I think that's the way they should be. You know, they're very grounded boys. You know, my 3-year-old Cruz, you know, he's been saying please and thank you and excuse me since he was 3 years old, and that's the way. You know, there's no reason
big on the
for
manners.
them
You're
not.
big on the
Yeah,
manners. And
of course, there's no reason for them to be. You know, they have their bedtimes. You know, Cruz is 7:15, Romeo's 7:45, and Brooklyn's 9. So it's
Can I ask you,
important that
David,
we.
when they're in bed, if one of them's facing the wrong way, do you turn them around so they're all looking the same way? Because you've got an odd number there. That can't be good for you having 3. You've got to go for number 4. David, you need number 4 to balance it out. When are we going to see number 4?
You know what? We're really enjoying our 3 boys at the moment. You know, they're at a great age.
Are you trying for number 4?
We're always trying.
Now, here's the thing. There must be pressure on, not on them as such, but certainly people are thinking, I wonder if they're going to be footballers. I wonder if they'll have the skill their dad has, because you do have incredible skill. Do you see that in them? Is that something you would encourage? Is that something you'd be keen for them not to have to do? Because obviously the pressure's there.
I would love them to go into football. At the moment, they're calling it soccer because they've got proper American accent, full American accents.
Do you think the world will call it soccer before long?
I'm sure, you know, if America have anything to do with it, they will, because they're such a powerful country and they believe, you know, they believe in football.
Well,
so
they did well in the World Cup, didn't they? They did pretty well.
It will get bigger and you know, more, you know, it will get bigger.
When are you playing again? When are you fit enough to play yet, or nearly there?
I'm 4 months almost after surgery. I wasn't meant to run until 4.5 months, but I started running 10 days ago.
So that's the Jackie Chan approach,
yeah,
right there.
Yeah, might as well. If not, I'll end up in hospital. So.
But it must be driving you a bit crazy, isn't it?
It is. It's killing me. It's, you know, not playing football. It's something that I've never had to. You know, I've never had such a bad injury. I broke a bone in my foot, broke my arm and ribs, but apart from that, you know, this is the worst injury I've had.
And so when you get back in the game, and I don't want this to be a depressing question, but sportsmen playing at your level of the game, they have a limited period when they can keep that and compete with the younger players. How long do you think you got left in you at the very top?
I still believe that I have. You know, I've always said that I don't want to retire from England. If I don't get picked again, then I don't get picked. But, you know, I want to be available. And if I have the chance to play for the country again, I've played 115 times and I want to keep playing. So if I get the chance, then I would, you know, I believe that I've still got a lot to offer for the country.
Now, you recently went out to Afghanistan to visit the troops out there.
Yeah.
There's a shot of David out with one of the boys serving out there right now. How did that come about? How did you get out there? What did you get to do with them? How long were you there?
Well, obviously, since the guys have been out there, you know, I've always wanted to make that trip and wanted to go out there. But obviously, with playing and the training and the football schedule, I've never been able to. So as soon as I got the injury, I said, you know, to my manager, I said, you know, I really want to go out to Afghanistan. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, and we contacted the right people, and they said, right, we can make it happen this certain time. So I arrived at the base, and we left at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we landed in Dubai, and then we got on the C-17, which is this huge military plane.
Like a transporter,
yeah. And I was on there with 140 troops. Most of them, which is incredible. You know, these kids are travelling over.
And they are just kids,
to
aren't
fight, and they're 19, 20, 21 years old. And, you know, I was on there, and then within half an hour of landing, we have to put body armour on, helmets, and they turn all the lights off in the plane, and there's no windows in the plane. And then all of a sudden you circle over, and then you go in fast. So then we land, and then, you know, I'm staying with the guys. I'm, you know, eating breakfast with them, eating lunch with them.
So you hung out. You did what they did. You
exactly,
had no different
because,
treatment. You
you know,
flew in the same way they did. And
it's something that I always do when I do something. It's important to do something like that, and, you know, I don't need any special treatment. I wanted to stay with the guys, eat with the guys, and you know, we had bacon and eggs in the morning,
so the
chicken
food was,
curry.
it
was great. And then Angel Delight. I haven't had Angel Delight for years.
You don't have to go to Afghanistan. You can still get that here.
So then, you know, I spent 2 days meeting all the guys, and I think what is great about being in my position is the fact that I can go somewhere like that and we get the awareness that everybody needs to realise what these guys are actually doing. You know, these young kids are going over, fighting for our country, and they're working in 54 degrees heat with armour, with full everything on. And, you know, I look and I think my mum and dad, you know, are really proud of me, of what I've achieved. You know, what must these parents think of what their children, their husbands, their wives do in Afghanistan? You know, something as you know, as a English person, we should be really proud of that and really support our guys. And it's something that I want to do in the future. I want to raise awareness. I want to raise, you know, money for the families that have lost, you know, their loved ones. And I think it's so important to be able to, you know, tell people, because until you actually go there and visit the guys and see and talk to them and look in their eyes and see that fear's there, but they know that they've got a job to do and they know what they're doing. And speaking to them, they actually feel like, you know, a lot of them said, you know, we feel as if we've forgotten over here. And I said, actually, do you know what? That's one thing all of you will never be forgotten, because what you're doing out here is, you know, the most amazing job I've ever witnessed.
How great to have you here, David.
You.
Thank you for joining us. You know, I've been a fan of yours for many years, and like everyone in this country, I saw you become a star when you were a young kid, and then to see you grow into such a fine example of what a man in the limelight can be. Really, you're an exceptional person.
Thank you very much.
And I thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Beckham.